Kicks 105, good morning. It's the Merrell in the Morning Show. And now joining me, we have the Interim Vice President, CHI Foundations of Texas. We have Erin Meade that's joining us this morning. Good morning, Erin. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Danny. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for shedding some more light on this wonderful event, this wonderful program, this wonderful place. And let's kind of jump right in here to kind of get things explained here. Now, I said CHI Foundations of Texas. What is the role of this when it comes to projects like this newly constructed Women's Center over at St. Luke's Health-Memorial?
Well, Danny, we're part of St. Luke's Health System, and we raise funds across the state in partnership with our hospital leadership for projects just like the Women's Center. So what's unique about what we do is that it's focused on healthcare philanthropy. A lot of our major contributors, including one to this very project, have a very deep connection to the cause. She, in particular, she had a granddaughter who was premature, and she wanted to make sure that this community had the resources needed to care for those tiny little babies. So what is our role? Our role is to honor that intention, secure the gift, and make sure that when it happens, the funds are used exactly as the donor intended. And when someone asks me if their gift is going to stay in the community, the answer is always yes.
I love that. So could you expand a little bit more on the partnership and how that works between CHI Foundations of Texas and St. Luke's?
Sure. Yeah, we work directly with hospital leadership, such as our great Monty Bostwick here at Memorial Lufkin, and in partnership with members of the community as well. We work together when there's an idea for a project that they know will impact the healthcare of their community. And we partner to figure out how philanthropy might accelerate having that project completed and helping the members of the community as quickly as possible. And philanthropic funds, they really fast-track projects that otherwise could take a really long time. Sometimes those projects are brick and mortar, like this one. Sometimes they're, for example, more mission-based. We have a mission to serve vulnerable populations. So we do a lot of work in human trafficking prevention, for example.
I love that.
So for all of those projects and projects of those types, you could kind of say that CHI Foundations of Texas is a bit the middleman between the hospital and the donor. Once we figure out how philanthropy might accelerate a project, it's our job to keep those donors informed on the status of the project all the way through to completion. It's a true partnership with the hospital leadership, for sure.
How has donor support been for this facility so far?
Been tremendous directly from this community. We've had several community leaders, and we are so thankful for their generosity, for sure.
And let's touch on, I know a name that's very familiar in the East Texas area is the Temple Foundation. And what role did they play here at St. Luke's Health-Memorial?
Oh, Temple Foundation played a huge role in the initial rebuild of the birthing center. That was back in 2016. We could not have done it without their lead gift. We are so deeply appreciative. They are just, as you know, tremendous in the community.
So what other names would we find in your donor list for this project that you might like to acknowledge?
Sure. There's many. The Maybe Foundation supported this project. The Mary Kay and Clifford Grum Foundation, they were critical to the opening of the NICU. Mary Kay, in particular, she's been so remarkably generous, and we are incredibly grateful to her.
And there's been a lot of community supporters as well, correct?
Right, yeah, it spans far and wide. Jay Glick, he sits on St. Luke's Health Board. He and his wife were generous in their support, along with local foundations. The ID and Marguerite Fairchild Foundation, the Bernard Foundation, the Piney Woods Foundation, and so many local supporters. We even had our own St. Luke's Foundation board chair, Howard Tellefson. He's out in Houston, and when he heard about how his giving could impact local community in East Texas, he jumped in, especially after he saw all the support from the community that was already there. We are just so blessed.
Now, I know we had the grand opening this past Monday, and so is it too late to still give or not?
Well, of course, talking to someone who's a fundraiser, it's never too
It's never
it's
too
never
late.
it's never too late to you. Well, but I should back that up and let you know, Danny, that fundraising for this project is done, but we always welcome support for Memorial Hospital. And if anyone listening would like to, we encourage you to visit the website. The website for fundraising is supportstluke.org. You can make a gift there. You can designate Memorial Hospital on the form. And like I said earlier, if you designate Memorial Hospital, we guarantee that 100% of your gift will stay right in the community.
And does the importance of this project reach, say, beyond the Piney Woods of East Texas, and how so?
I think you can say that. I think this is a tremendous example of what can be achieved when you have great hospital leadership and incredible community support. And I'm just honored in my work in CHI Foundations of Texas, we have a reach across the state of Texas. And you can bet that I am sharing this story as an example with other members throughout the state of Texas when they want to have impact in their own community. This is the best example of that.
So based on what you've seen and what you know about this project, if somebody is making a choice right now of where they should go, why should their choice be St. Luke's Health Memorial for the Women's Center there?
It's because of the care and the thoughtfulness that went into each phase of this decision for the Women's Center, because of the outstanding care at Memorial Hospital, top physicians, experienced physicians that are right here at home in your community. I wouldn't hesitate to choose it as my hospital. I think also a plus with the Women's Center at Memorial Hospital, you have an affiliation with Texas Children's Hospital, and Memorial Lufkin is part of the largest faith-based health system in the nation. So that's a lot of experience and skill being made available to local communities right here at home.
Once again, we're talking with Erin Meade, the interim VP of CHI Foundations of Texas. Any other questions or points that you'd like to make this morning?
I just want to thank you, Danny. Thank you for your time, letting me share my thoughts, and just want everyone listening to know it's really a privilege for all of us at St. Luke's Foundation to serve your community. Thank you so much.